they'll say, well, he's done very well. If Villeneuve doesn't, they'll say he has lost it. All right, now here's the hot lap. The first one for Jacques Villeneuve. His teammate, Heinz Harald Frentzen, at 122.02. Into the first curve. A second, a right-hand sweeper. Now they'll come up towards what they call the Expo 92, the Michelin bend. Now they go into a left-hander at about 195. A short straight down to a right-hander, fifth gear at about 185. This is the Cito Ponce. Now, this is one of the few places, Jerry, they might be able to pass.
Yes, they can. They're at a top speed here of about 200 and nearly 300 kilometers an hour. And Jacques has already chopped a bit away from Frentzen's time on the first intermediate section. And he's still flat to the floor. Look at his hands work at that wheel. He's pushing hard, no question.
Now a right-hand sweeper through Pelugi. Looking back now, using all the curbing. Right on the ragged edge early. And he's quicker than Frentzen. Through the intermediate, trying to beat 122.02. Jacques Villeneuve.
Half a second quicker there.
Through the Ducados, the hairpin. Now looking for the start-finish line. 122.02. Jacques Villeneuve has the pole by 9/10 in his Ferrari.
3/10 quicker at the last interval.
Remember now, during free practice, he was 9th yesterday. He said, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. 121.07 is Villeneuve's time to beat. A little bit of understeer. 121.07. Michael Schumacher. Oh, he just failed. It's exactly the same. Exactly the same time. Terry Donaldson, how many times have you seen that?
Never to my recollection, Vic. They timed this sport to the 1,000th of a second.
Absolutely the same time.
They have to bring it further than that because these guys are dead equal. It's unbelievable.
And the disappointment, of course, in the Ferrari garage because it goes, the times, if they're equal, it goes to the person who has, in fact, said it first. Am I right?
As we said, he's come on strong at the end of the season, and he's coming on strong at the end of this qualifying session.
Boy, is he ever. Would this be something if the two Williams cars could be on the front row?
Be ideal for Williams, but Ferrari will be...
Watch the time, 121.07. Heinz Harald Frentzen. No! Oh, my! Oh, my! Unbelievable as Michael Schumacher just can do nothing but shake his head. 3 cars, 3 drivers, 3 exact times.
The drivers are in position. Hakkinen moves early. He'll charge down to La Source. Hakkinen and Coulthard side by side heading into the hairpin. Irvine's up to 4th, and the McLarens have touched. Coulthard moving into the lead. Coulthard's first, Hakkinen's second, Frentzen's third, Irvine's 4th, Ralf Schumacher's 5th. David Coulthard, who's led from the start, comes round to take the checkered flag and his second victory of the year. With the final place on the podium goes to Heinz Harald Frentzen, who beat the Ferraris fair and square, giving Eddie something to...
Frentzen needs a good performance here at Imola to get his season back on the right track, at last having no troubles either in the warm-up or on the grid. Michael Schumacher slots in ahead of Frentzen, both Jordans right up there in the thick of things. Frentzen very close to Schumacher, having a quick look, the Ferrari closing the door. Jacques Villeneuve with a clear track in front, Frentzen still staring down Schumacher's exhaust pipes. Michael with time to thank Pedro Diniz, who leaves the door open for Heinz Harald to follow through. Schumacher into the pits for the first of his 2 planned stops. A little extra time needed to get enough fuel on board, but still away in a shade over 9 seconds. Villeneuve right on the mark for his stop, his crew setting about the 4 wheels and refuelling. But away a little slower than Schumacher, rejoining behind the Ferrari of Eddie Irvine. Frentzen also in for the first of his 2 planned stops. Leaving the pit and rejoining ahead of Schumacher in first place. So for the first time this year, it's all down to Heinz Harald Frentzen in the Williams. His last stop with 19 laps to go, with Michael Schumacher due in for his stop any second. No sign of the Ferrari yet, but Frentzen away in a good second. There's Michael having a bit of trouble with the Rini's Sauber. Schumacher already at his pit marks, awaiting fuel and tyres. A superb stop, just 6.9 seconds. Schumacher just 4.8 seconds behind Frentzen into the last few laps. 4 seconds. Frentzen leads, Schumacher close behind, but Frentzen has done enough for his first win and an elated Williams pit wall.
Drive for the start and the race is on. Hakkinen wastes no time charging past Zonta. Into turn 1 with Barrichello leading and Alesi close behind. Down to the hairpin again, and DC's having a look. He's got the line and he's through. Can he make it stick though? Barrichello's coming back at him, but the McLaren driver has it, first place. Further back, Hakkinen's already up to 6th and challenging Schumacher for 5th. The Finn has the line and calmly takes the position of his main championship rival. Lap 9 and Coulthard slowing, alternator failure ending any hopes he had of taking his first win of the year here in France. Moving out from behind Frentzen, Mika does it again to take 3rd place. Jean Todt's looking concerned at the prospect of rain. It could be starting, although Johnny Herbert, out on lap 4, doesn't think so. The rain is definitely coming down now and the track conditions are quickly becoming treacherous. Mika's wasting no time putting Rubens under pressure. The McLaren driver's having a look into the Adelaide hairpin, and he's blown it into a spin. Michael Schumacher, having passed Frentzen for 2nd, now has his sights set on 1st place. With Hakkinen back in 8th, there's only the steward of Barrichello in the way. Out of the Brazilian slipstream, and he has the inside line for the corner. A clean move by the Ferrari #1, who now leads the French Grand Prix, and is pulling away from Barrichello at over a second a lap. The Rainmeister now looks uncatchable. But there's concern on the Ferrari pit wall. All's not well with Michael's car. He's lost a lot of time, and from 9 seconds ahead, he now has the field snapping at his heels. Barrichello is once again leading this race. Frentzen 2nd, but Mika Hakkinen has fought his way back and is putting the Jordan driver under pressure. Into the hairpin, Mika's favourite passing place, and Frentzen's run wide. Hakkinen's up the inside and into 2nd place. But the Finn's not finished yet. The McLaren Mercedes more than a match for the Stewart Ford down the straight, giving him the racing line into the next corner and into the lead. Stewart and McLaren still have to make another stop. Barrichello's in, and so is Mika Hakkinen. The Finn stays in front, but Frentzen on a one-stopper is past them both and takes the lead. Mika down to 2nd. Only a few laps left. Eddie Jordan's confident as the clouds open once again. Frentzen's lead looks safe, but Hakkinen's not far behind. On the last lap, and Heinz Harald Frentzen crosses the line to win the French Grand Prix. His first for Jordan and only the 2nd of his career. With Hakkinen 2nd, a terrific race by Barrichello bags the Brazilian 3rd and the final podium spot. A fair reward for the hard-working Stewart team. A truly exciting race with 8 changes of the lead between 5 drivers, but only 1 winner. Seconds to go, and the lights are out. A good start for Hakkinen, too much wheel spin for Frentzen. Zanardi's having a sensational start, moving up to 2nd. Charging down to the first chicane, it's Hakkinen, Zanardi, Frentzen, Coulthard and Schumacher together. The Ferraris are well down as half the field take a shortcut. Genet and Takagi tussle for the same piece of road. That incident putting the Spaniard out. Riding with Frentzen right on the tail of Zanardi. He pulls alongside. The Mugen powering the German up to 2nd place. Hakkinen's first, Frentzen 2nd, Zanardi's 3rd, and there's a battle for 4th between Schumacher, Salo and Coulthard. three abreast as they hammer down the back straight. Now it's Schumacher and Coulthard side by side as they approach the turn. Ralph takes fourth. DC runs wide and Sala nips past for fifth. Barrichello's having a look as well. 2 Williams in the top four. Frank must be pleased. Racing to the chicane, and that's Giancarlo Fisichella going straight on. A nudge of the barrier, the Italian's race is over. A blow for the team at home. Coulthard's really under pressure from Barrichello. The Brazilian's seen his opportunity and moves alongside. DC has the inside line, but the Stewart driver takes it and moves up to sixth. The Williams drivers are running third and fourth. Schumacher makes a move and Zanardi makes it easy for him. Williams are having a sensational race. Badoa and Takagi are scrapping for 16th. Late on the brakes by the Arrows driver, and he's taken the Minardi out of the race. Tora manages to continue. Halfway through now, and Häkkinen's leading this race comfortably. Zanardi's not so secure. That's Barrichello poised for another passing maneuver, pulling out and up to fourth. Lap 29, and Mika Häkkinen has an 8-second advantage. He's got it sideways. Unbelievable. The McLaren grinds to a halt. Häkkinen showing his frustration at throwing away 10 valuable championship points. With Häkkinen out, Frentzen moves into the lead. Salo and Coulthard are in together, racing for third. It's an all-important stop. They've got problems with DC's fuel hose, and that blows his chances of passing Salo. The Scotsman's close behind, but that's Barrichello charging down the straight. Salo's clear, but Coulthard loses the place to the Stewart driver, dropping to fifth. The 53rd and final lap, and Heinz Harald Frentzen can see the checkered flag and his second win of the season. A fantastic race for the Jordan driver, putting him in contention for the driver's title. The German drove magnificently, keeping his cool while under pressure from Ralph.